Well, hello there again, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Grab your cup of coffee and a seat because, as always, I'm Paulie, and this is Paulie's Power Hour. Well, we got the Bitchin Camaro in the garage. Remember the diagnostic video? We figured out the EGR valve was bad? Well, here's the EGR valve. We're going to go ahead and change this. And we're going to change the solenoid too, because why not? I actually was able to get the solenoid and valve for the same price on Rock Auto as a solenoid from a local auto parts store. So there's that. This is an old CarQuest box. It's an old restock, so hopefully it works. We're probably going to test it with the old vacuum. Oh yeah, look at that. That's brand new. Brand new. Oh, it works. Oh, wow. We're going to forget that ever happened. All right. Does it come with a gasket, though? Oh. Gasket. All right. And then here is the solenoid. It's a BWD from Rock Auto. It comes from, Rock Auto. So it's probably an overstock from somewhere else. There she is. Now, this is part of a few-step process here because I unfortunately have to drive to Pennsylvania for a funeral. So what am I going to take? Kit? No. That would cost way too much in gas. The Malibu? No. It needs rear tires, as Ryder is going to tell you. And, no, it's a bunch of gas. The Caddy still needs some work. Got to work on that. Big Mama, too much gas. Too much money in gas. This gets 25 miles to the gallon-ish or more on the highway, depending on how I drive, and takes cheap gas. I can do 80 miles an hour, get there pretty comfortably, pretty quickly, set the cruise, listen to a little bit of music. So we're going to go ahead and spend some time getting her ready for travels. I do have my old school Snap-on Solus scanner hooked up. I double-check codes just to make sure. The only code in there is indeed the EGR code, which actually says EGR problem. All right, so without further ado, let's get to work. We got some stuff to take off, and we got some parts to replace. All right, so first, EGR valve's down here, right? I just broke this, so yay, I gotta go find a new one at the parts store. I gotta take the air cleaner off, which I'm just gonna take off, all the way off. All right, we're going to use my icon light from the light shootout video or light review video. All right, so there's the EGR valve right here. I did squirt it earlier with some PB Blaster. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. I used WD-40's rust release stuff. This is the intake air temp sensor. There we go. Let's put that right there. All right, those look like they might be 1/2-inch bolts or nuts. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. So there's the valve. There's one of the nuts right down there. And then there's the other one. That's a pretty good view of both nuts. Phrasing, boom. My initial assessment was correct. 1/2-inch, all right. Oh, wow, that broke right loose. Thank goodness. They do put a bunch of wiring harnesses and hoses and stuff here, don't they? So I'm going to take my handy-dandy little pocket magnet. as I spin this off with one hand. Grab it with the magnet. Bada bing. Tell you what, I do like these extended reach wrenches, although I think it might screw me on this one. I don't think it's going to be able to do what I want it to do. Let's see. Yep, we're going to have to use an old school wrench. I hope that was it loosening and not rounding off. Okay, there we go. All right, we're good. We're good here. Uh-oh. Where'd that go? Can't go too far because it's on the intake manifold, so. All right. Now, in theory, it should just come right off. Look at that. Pretty sure this is the original one from 92. I've never changed it, and I don't know if Sonny ever changed it, so there's that. We're going to get this old gasket off of here. Fortunately, it pretty much kind of comes off in one piece. It does leave a little residue that we're going to take off. I'll show you how we'll do that. Son of a biscuit. Yep, that's my fault. This is like the one that's on the caddy. This is what came off the car. Guess I'm going to have to return this one to Rock Auto. And I already got to have it apart, so I'll be right back. I have to run to the parts store. All right, so we're back from the parts store. Because originally I was going to just put the old one back on. So all it does is set a check engine light. It doesn't really affect the way the car runs. Might affect gas mileage a little bit, but affected $100 worth? I don't know. But, all right, I'll say this. Every time somebody has a part and they need something done, I say, quit being a cheap ass, buy the part, fix the car. What was I trying to do? Be a cheap ass. What did Ryder say? Be a cheap ass. Don't be a cheap ass, buy the part. So, drove all the way down to the AutoZone hub store. This is the only EGR valve for a 1992 Chevrolet Camaro with a 5-point slow in it in the entire Jacksonville area. It is an AC Delco, made by GM fairly recently because it has the new holographic logo on it. So, yeah, see the new lowercase GM BS. Is it $100 worth of GM BS? I don't know. But here she is. Right flange size. Comes with a gasket and a 1-year warranty. I might swap this son of a gun out in a year just to get a warranty. Just so I feel better about spending $100 on it. All right, let's go clean up the manifold, put this damn thing on, and put the other solenoid in. All right, so here's what we're working with. There's still gasket material. I'll show you how we're going to get it off. Now, remember that when I did the caddy, these were all plugged up. These are actually nice and clean, nice and clear. So that's good news, I guess. So, yay. These coolant hoses seem to be okay still. Yay. This is stuff you don't really see. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I have a couple ways of removing gasket material. And this is the way I'm going to do it tonight. This is a carbide scraper. We're just going to go and very gently scrape off any excess gasket material, being very careful not to gouge the aluminum, because this is an aluminum intake. Probably going to regret this later, but I'm going to try and take these studs out of here to give me a little bit more room. Maybe not. It'll be a little bit easier to get the rest of this gasket material off here from different angles and such. So, all right, check that out. That's pretty clean. It's about as clean as I want it to be. So now we're gonna put the studs back in it, put the gasket on, and then the solenoid is right here with one bolt. We gotta swap it out, and that will be it for this, and we'll test it. Oh, I did put this over the throttle body because I was, blowing it off and vacuuming and everything else. So wanted to make sure I didn't get a mess into the throttle body. All right, studs are in. I'm gonna start by putting down the gasket. Now you install this, I always install them dry. There's no need to put any kind of red silicone or anything because these gaskets are that really good, like metal, carbon impregnated stuff. So I just install them normally, put the EGR valve on. And then what I will do is take some copper anti-seize, and we're going to put a little bit on these studs. Kind of a ounce of protection, pound of cure kind of thing. This one's proving to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Let's try the old magnet trick. There we go. Sometimes if you use a magnet to stick the bolt on there, it'll work out easier. Of course, this fuel line is in like the most inconvenient place possible. Go. Nice and tight, the way we like it. All right, hook up the vacuum line. Bada bing, EGR valve's done. Now we get to, this is a little 7mm screw here. This thing is in a fairly inconvenient spot, but a little 7 mic wrench here will fix this right up. And we're of course looking right here. Right here is where we're looking for the little solenoid. Taking the old slow boat to China with this one. It's a good thing you guys don't have to watch this, it just speeds up. Pretty sure these haven't been off since 1992 as well. Now the question I have is, what is stopping me from bolting it in with the bolt going this way? And the threads are the same, and then I can just, I mean, it's not pointy, so it's not gonna hurt the, that, you know, hose loom behind it. So what's stopping me from bolting it in this way, which I might try. And then I realized, why am I on the struggle bus with that stupid little wrench when I've got swivels? Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. EGR valve changed and tight. EGR solenoid changed and tight. Let's put the air cleaner back on. So we do have to plug in this for intake air temp, this for this, and then I got to get a new clip and filter for my PCV. But oh my. Was that in here? Oh, good, it's fully charged. Okay, so let's go to previous vehicles. 92 Chevrolet Camaro. That green light is on. Yep. Codes and data. We'll display codes first so you can see what's in there. What the hell? Does that sometimes. All right, so there we go. EGR system problem. Same code we had before. Let's go back. Clear codes. Oh. Interesting. Disconnect negative battery cable for at least 30 seconds. Whatever. The code will go away. All right, let's start the car. Oh, no check engine lights. Let's go check out here for leaks. All right. there you go. We'll take it on a test drive tomorrow. Or actually, we'll do a test drive after I do the water pump, which is going to be the next video. Getting this thing ready to drive 900 miles to Philly. So, yeah. So that's it. That's the EGR valve. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. So, hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. Do all the usual stuff. Be nice to each other. Like, comment, subscribe. Send it to all your friends. Show your friends. Tell your friends about us. And all I have to say is, you guys keep it between the ditches and you come back and see me.